I grew up in Cudahy, which is a small city in LA. In Cudahy, every street is a gang.
In Cudahy ended in a deputy-involved shooting. The search is on for that suspect.
Breaking news right now. Police trying to track down the shooter who killed a man near a school in Cudahy.
The victim's body was found near Clara Street and River Road in Cudahy.
That they found a burned body behind one of the businesses here.
So growing up in that environment and obviously not having a dad in my life, having 7 brothers and sisters, living in what we call the hood, I found the streets to like be my outlet, the place where I felt comfortable, the place where I found the role models that I didn't have in my life. So at 14, I committed to a small crew. Before you get into a gang, there's little crews that you could get into, and either you're tagging or you're fighting. You're pretty much fighting a war with the smaller little cliques that are there too. So me and my friends started one, and we had a group of guys that were going through the same stuff that I was going through, which they didn't have parents, or their parents were always working. So we all kind of connected, and it just became a brotherhood. And what made those small cliques powerful was that we were young, that we had nothing to lose. You know what I mean? So the bigger gangs are like, hey, you little hoods, you guys are gonna get jumped into the bigger gangs because we don't want too many little crews. But we would fight against them because obviously we don't want to get into no gang. So we were okay with shooting at people. We were okay with doing the things that we had to do to survive, and I did that for about 4 or 5 years, all the way till I got to my senior year of high school. And along the way, I already had been shot at, so I was already really involved in what I was doing. And somebody told me about the army, and he told me about the army. The army recruiter went to my house, and he walks in and he sees 5 bald guys all wearing white tees, 501s, Nike Cortez, and he takes out the laptop and he's like, here, take the ASVAB test to practice. And we all scored really low, and he's like, I'll call you guys back, and never called us back. In Downey, there was another recruiting station, but that was the Marine Corps, and there was a guy there named Sergeant Felix. When we met him, he took it serious. He helped us take a test, and me and my friend, the one that told me about the military, we were on our way to joining the military, going to boot camp. We already had our day and everything, and a couple days or weeks before, me and my friend Fernando, his name is Fernando, were walking to McDonald's 2 blocks away from my house, and next thing you know, we get shot at, and he gets shot twice. He got hit, and then from there, I end up going to the military, and from there my life just completely changed. From there, I'm the one that ends up going to the military. I'm the ones that ends up, going through, and I end up getting stationed in, obviously you go to MCRD. I end up going to SOI, and then from SOI, they're like, you're getting a bus up the hill to 3rd Battalion 5th Marines. So I didn't really go far, but I was so close to home that I would go home every weekend. So my lifestyle never changed. So I was going back home, and I was still doing the same thing that I was doing. I'm active duty with a different mentality, and thinking that, man, I'm gonna go back and teach all these guys my tactics, I was doing that for a while, and I deployed once, I come back home, I got married, like typical Marine, you get married right away, not knowing if this is gonna work out or if this is even the right person. And I made that choice, but it was the best decision I made, and I felt like God knew that I was gonna need somebody because something was coming. And on my second deployment to Afghanistan, I ended up getting hit. I stepped on a pressure plate IED and lost my left leg, my left eye, and so when I got injured, my wife became my biggest supporter, like the person that I could lean on and just go through every emotion that I had to go through, So that was a blessing for me. I ended up at the Naval Medical Center in San Diego, and it's still close to my house. LA to San Diego is what, like a 2 hour, 30-minute drive. So my mom's still in LA, so I'm gonna go back home, after I get released, and I want to go back and forward. So I get a prosthetic leg, I'm wearing a patch, and I'm still hanging out with my homies. I'm hanging out with my friends, watching I remember it was a Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, was it Manny?
So we were in Bell, in the city of Bell, in a porch watching the fight from the window, because his family was inside the house, so the homies were outside looking through the window, and this car pulls up, he gets off, and he starts shooting again. And at that moment, everything just clicked in my mind. I'm like, man, everybody's calling me a hero. Everybody's saying, you're a hero, you're this. At the Naval Hospital, people are doing things that nobody's ever done for me. And I'm gonna die right here in the streets, That's gonna be embarrassing for my family. Like, it's not gonna look good, Marine survives Afghanistan, but then he gets killed in the hood. That was one of the moments where I was like, nah, I can't do this no more, I need to change. I'm missing a leg, I'm missing an eye, I'm 22 years old, and I'm like, man, I'm asking God, like why am I still alive? Like, I wasn't gonna take my own life. That was something that I wasn't gonna do, but I was upset because how come they didn't take it the moment I got injured? Like, that's what I wanted. I was like, you should have just took me out that day. And so I went through that roller coaster. I went through those moments where I didn't know what life was gonna look like, and eventually I found, for me, I found disabled sports. I found sports because I've always been a competitive person. First, I found wheelchair basketball. I got into it, and I started just playing and thinking, how far can I go with this sport? What can I do? What is the highest level? And little by little, just started finding a purpose. When I stopped playing wheelchair basketball, I found cycling, and I was like, man, what is the highest level we got to reach in this? And obviously, it's the Paralympics, Team USA, and that's where I'm at. I'm knocking on the door, and I know I'm gonna get in soon.
Yeah.
And just cycling and dedicating myself to something. Also, when I tell people, find a purpose. Like, my family is my purpose, but my individual purpose too is me training every day and trying to reach the goals that come with that. And I have to train Monday through Saturday, about 2 to 3 hours a day. I'll do about 14 hours a week, about 200 and something miles a week. And I love it too because I live with pain just walking on a prosthetic, right? That pain will never go away. But when I get on my bike and I push myself to find another pain, the pain on my leg goes away. One, I'm a happy place where I'm so satisfied. I'm like, man, like I couldn't believe that I pushed that hard, that I went, I found something in me that I didn't even know I had, I got injured in October 2010, right? And I took pills probably like that first year, 2011, because I tried different things that were gonna help with my nerve pain, but it was just giving me different side effects that I was like, nah, I don't like it. So I just said, I'm not taking anything. I'm gonna push through the pain, and eventually my brain will connect with it, and I'll be able to control it. You know what I mean? So from 2011 to now, I've never taken a pill. I've never taken anything. Here and there, I'll take like Advil like once every other year or something, but nothing. And it's because I focused my pain on something else that was worth it, that was good. Just going through everything that I went through, growing up in Cudahy, not having a father, looking at things that I wish could have been mine, my life, and all that pain, I just felt like it made me a better person later, and I had to embrace it, but I had to accept it too. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't gonna be, oh, I'm in this situation because I didn't have a dad. Nah, I didn't have a dad, so I'm gonna be a better dad. You know what I mean? So I'm in this situation because we didn't have any money. Nah, when I get money, I'm gonna know what to do with it. I'm gonna be smart with my money. I believe that we all know exactly what we gotta do, right? Like, we all know, oh, I should be here, but sometimes we either get lazy, or we're like, man, well, I'll do it later, you know. And as the years go by, you just have that same mindset, and next thing you know, 10 years later, you're still in the same place. So for me, I already knew that I couldn't sit here and just feel sorry for myself, you know. Like, that was the feeling, like, that I was living. But in my mind, I knew that, nah, there's more to this, you know. There's more to this. There's more. Like, you got to keep just moving forward. And it's like climbing a ladder, you know. You got to take it one step at a time.